Okay,
now,
so we're going to work with 2 eggplants today.
And I want to show you how to
cut them.
cut it. First you cut this out.
So the top comes off, real simple.
Simple.
That's garbage.
We cut them in half like that.
Compost.
And then you cut this way, about ½ an inch.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I'm just going to show that. So that's about the width of it there.
½ an inch and ½ an inch this way. All right? Nice sharp knife, even. Making sure that the knife, you see how you turn the eggplant? You cut half this way, then you turn it around so you don't cut your fingers.
You don't want to cut your fingers.
You don't want to cut your fingers.
No. So pretty much the pieces, the sizes are going to be very similar. And
right.
Of course, with cooking, when you're cooking things, you do want them same kind of shape and size because they cook evenly.
Right.
Okay, so we're just going to get rid of this here. So now we're working with two eggplant. This is going to shrivel down like mushrooms, not as bad as spinach, but your yield at the end is going to be less. So we would recommend, even though we're basing it on 2, we'd recommend maybe 4 eggplant, 6 eggplant, and go from there.
Right.
Okay. So in our bowl here, let's say we have those eggplants or 2 eggplants.
You have to salt them. You see, you salt the eggplant. You salt the eggplant and you toast them out like that. So what the salt does will take out all the moisture out of the eggplant and make the eggplant much sweeter.
Right, right. Now this is a kosher salt, typical kosher salt. You can use a sea salt. You don't want to just use a table salt. You want a nice
coarse
salt.
Yeah, and you keep it and you shake it from time to time about 1 hour. 1 hour you have to probably keep them underneath the salt.
Right, because it's going to start to break down the moisture.
Yes.
And if you can't do that flip thing,
flip it by hand. Yes.
You can just toss it. Now, after about an hour, they're going to start to look like that. Okay, so they're going to get brown. They're going to start to feel quite soft. That's what you want to go for. And then we have one more here too.
Yeah, and you see how much juice they throw out? See, this is all juice. So what you do, you put them in a strainer and let them strain. Let them strain. And once you strain them, they come. There's a lot of juice that they come out. You can press them down with another dish if you feel like to, or just let them sit.
Just let them sit.
Yeah.
Let them drain. Again, this is about an hour, right?
Yes, about an hour.
So in the meantime, there's a couple other things we can work on. So while that salt is taking the liquid out,
correct,
we're going to work on a little bit of the pickling part. And actually, let me just bring this over here. So in a pan, again, based on 2 eggplants, you're going to put a ½ cup of apple cider vinegar, right? And we're going to do a ½ cup of red wine vinegar. Okay. Then we're going to put in a cup of celery. Now your celery pieces, you can see in here, they're just pretty average. One thing we always do is peel the celery.
Peel the celery and cut them evenly if it's possible.
Yeah, because celery is the only vegetable that you can eat and floss your teeth with at the same time, and that shouldn't happen. So always peel your celery. Yeah,
and now you put this to boil on a low heat till it comes nice and soft, the celery.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just put that on the back burner, just to remind you and remind us that it's back there. We'll show you what that looks like when it's done.
Right, right. So now
we have our oil. This is a corn oil. Okay, we cook with corn oil.
About 300 degrees right now. Yeah, 300 degrees. And what we do, you have to be very careful because we have moisture in a eggplant. So when you drop in a hot oil, you have to be aware what you're doing, that you don't burn
because
yourself.
water and oil don't mix. See? And if you don't want to put your hand next to the stove like Mr. Callous Fingers over here, you can go ahead and just use a pair of tongs, a large scoop, a large spoon, anything like that.
Now this will fry and you will see will get nice and soft, the consistency of eggplant. Then we take them out and we strain them, put them in a strainer, so the oil goes away.
So we're going to just let that go in there, and we're going to do that in kind of small batches. Now again, this is about 2 eggplants. Behind me, if you just bear with me a moment, we of course have eggplant sliced over here for eggplant parmigiano, which is something totally different. But we also have a lot of eggplant in here.
Yeah.
And this is all salted. We have more eggplant over here, because when life gives you eggplants, you make caponata. Plus, we don't do anything small scale here at the Kitchen of Happiness. When we're doing our eggplant, our Sicilian eggplant relish, this is something, of course, we do in the fall when we can harvest the eggplant.
Right.
But after we're all done, we package it up. You can eat it fresh, but you can also stick it in the freezer.
And the freezer is wonderful, keeps long time, and it's good for the summertime. When you have company, you can bring it out and have a nice appetizer with it, or
and we serve it, of course, in the winter.
Yes.
In our frittatas. So this way, it's fresh, and the freezing kind of just locks in all that flavor, and it continues to marinate.
Yes.
Some things do actually much better after they sit a day or two under refrigeration, or after they sit, even a month or 2 in the freezer.
Yes, yes, no problem with that. And also you can can it and put it in a jar and put on the pressurize them and put them away on a. But
for a rainy day.
We have freezers, so it's better to freeze them.
For us to freeze it. Now we did mention in our sweet roasted red bell pepper video, we mentioned that we put our peppers in glass jars and froze them, and one of our viewers asked if it was okay to freeze in glass.
Yes.
And it is okay to freeze in glass. If you feel more comfortable, if you have a very busy freezer that a lot of people go in and out of, put it in plastic. But in Croatia, they don't have much Tupperware.
No. But they are very careful how they handle when it's in a glass. You can't bang into something else.
Right. So a lot of times our things that are in glass jars in the freezer, Dad either puts them in a cardboard box or in a milk crate or some kind of.
Right.
They're not just floating around, because in the freezer you grab one thing and something else can fall on top of it. So they're kind of all packed up together in their life. What do you need, Pop? Need a pair of tongs.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have this. I got oil on me. Now we have the eggplant. It's starting to get real soft. Let me see if we can get a little piece on there just to show our viewers what you're looking at.
We need a color.
Need the color?
Yeah, the right color.
All right. So this is not ready yet. Okay, you still have quite a bit of green. It's not. It's soft, but it's not that soft. So we're looking for more color than that. So we want to show you, because sometimes you don't know. Well, geez, is it ready? Isn't it ready? Oh, I already put that there. So this one here, we got the one on my right, your left. That's all ready. Okay. This one here, not so much. And you remember those big pieces we had that were soaking? Here's one over here. Okay, so they do condense quite a bit. And we're not really 100% sure on the yield of 2 eggplants, because, like I said, we do them by the 50-pound loads at a time.
It depends on the size of the eggplant.
Right, but we figured we'd pare it down, so this way if you're going to be going to the garden market and you only want to get, 4 to 6 eggplant, you're okay, unless you want to do an undertaking of this kind of caliber.
Now, once you take the eggplant out, you make sure that it's cooked completely. Otherwise, you can never cook it again. So once it's taken out, it has to be done the right way. Now you see how nice and soft this is? It's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like almost like a marshmallow.
Yeah, smells
Right.
good. Excellent.
No, but I mean the consistency.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's not like falling apart.
And the younger the eggplant, the thinner the skin is. The older are the hard, the skins get harder. So you have to pick them up. The color is very important, and the length of the eggplant should be not big round, but long ones.
Okay. So the best thing to do is to go to your local farmer's market, of course, which we're big advocates of. To
You do any more?
Yeah, go ahead. Just put some more in there for a few minutes. And pick them from your farm, pick them fresh. Okay. Now, while we have that going, kind of over here in the background, we have 2 cups of marinara sauce. Now, of course, Vito makes his own marinara sauce with finely chopped onions.
Onions, garlic, fresh herb.
What kind of herbs?
Basil, and a little bit oregano. If you have fresh parsley, basil, oregano, salt and pepper. You have to have the more onions you use, the sweeter the sauce will be. To put the sauce in this eggplant, the sauce should be on the sweeter side.
On the sweeter side.
Yeah.
So sweet onions as in Vidalia, yellows.
Yellow, yeah. Or you can make it another step, and if you have a blender, you blend everything inside before you really finish the tomato sauce.
Okay. Now, if you don't have a good sauce, and you don't have, and if you don't live with your family and your parents, what do we do?
We go in the store, and you buy the best favorite store in your neighborhood. We have Tadaro over here in Wyndham, and he has excellent sauce. Any good Italian delicatessen will have a good sauce. So your preferred, the sauce is up to you, but should be on the sweeter side.
Okay.
Because this sauce, when it's finished, is a sweet, sour sauce, should be. Taste.
Little
vinegar, sweet, capers, what we're going to talk about, olives.
Okay, and if we go to maybe our local Italian restaurant, everyone has their favorite, and they love their marinara sauce.
Yes.
You can always ask them if they sell it, so you can support some your local delicatessen, your local restaurants.
Right.
And there's a lot of great products out there.
A lot of great products these days.
Okay, so now we have our tomato sauce. Again, we got 2 eggplant, 2 cups of tomato sauce. What are we putting in our tomato sauce? We have capers.
We have capers.
Okay, so we have a teaspoon of capers. Capers are kind of strong, right?
Right. Well, they give you that very nice flavor mixed with tomatoes.
Okay, so we're going to put that in there. And then we also have
green olives, Spanish green olives. If they have a pit, don't buy those where they have a pimento inside.
Yeah, no.
They are cocktail.
Let me grab that just out of camera view. This is what we're
Green,
looking
green.
at. See if we need to cover up the name. But these are your green olives with the pits
Spanish green olives.
Right. And this one we have 1/4 of a cup of olives. So we're putting that in there. Okay. And that's going to kind of just heat up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Now in the back row here, this is now the celery that we put in before.
Correct.
Right, with the apple cider
vinegar,
red wine vinegar,
vinegar,
and our celery. Now the celery is, how's it cooked here? How do we want to get that? We want to get that nice, little translucent.
Translucent, yeah, not too, also on a soft side.
Okay, so we still need that, or is that good?
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good.
And what are we going to do with all that juice in there?
We add on to our sauce when we put it all together to the desired taste that you like of your caponatina. Should be, like I say, sweet, sour sauce.
Now what if you need more sugar? Are we going to add
you
sugar?
If you need more sugar, you usually could add more sugar, or sweet and low if you feel like to, or regular sugar.
Okay.
But keep on tasting. Same thing, if you want to use it for cocktail hour, you can put a little bit hot sauce in it, like a
little Cajun seasoning? You're talking about liquid hot?
Liquid hot sauce.
Okay.
So it'll give you a little bite on the back.
Like a Cholula sauce?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Okay, so this is getting nice and hot. And we're straining that there. What we're going to do is, just because of time constraints, we're going to go ahead and put together our mixture so you can kind of see where we're going with this.